Coming up this week on the Afro Journal.
Would there be a difference between how you raise your boys and your girls?
Yes, there definitely will be.
Peter, what about you?
For me, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow, toxic. So you're treating people differently?
No, I'm not treating people differently.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the Afro Journal podcast, where we aim to bridge the gap between the African diaspora and the continent through open dialogue, shared experiences, and good vibes. Today, we are bringing another
Banga.
You know what it is. It is your husband, your green flag, the sugar in your tea and the apple of your eyes. Your high value man, your protector, man, your director, your leader, the head of your household. Chisum, Ejikeme, Jeremiah, Ukafo.
Wow, he's really feeling himself.
Too much.
He's really feeling himself with that intro, but it's all right. Let me give you some, Jamani. It's Mr. Lover.
Yeah.
Mr. Giving you all you desire.
You know what it is.
It's your boy, Chef Pirero, Peter Ikechukuyen Chubuzo Aliogo. Extra luggage.
Voila. And y'all already know your glazed chocolate donuts. We had to leave the guys alone because it was too much toxicity in the air. So I had to leave. Bole Akube.
We love it.
We love it. She couldn't handle all the energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hopefully you guys can move down to DC and then we can do more in-person episodes.
Yeah.
Nah, I've been begging these guys to move down here, but it's alright.
No, you guys should join me.
I'll keep praying.
You guys should join me in Hawaii. You guys should join me in Hawaii.
What are you doing in Hawaii, fam?
I have my babes over there.
You have your babes, yeah?
Yeah.
Well, is it, what do they even say though, Hawaii? Is it aloha? Or is it
Aloha.
I don't care.
Aloha.
Aloha.
You don't care, your babes are there.
All I need to know
Peter is toxic. He doesn't care about anything else. He's just himself. That's it. Rubbish guy. But anyhow, Sha. This week, you already see the thumbnail, the title if you're listening on YouTube, and you've seen the topic if you're listening on audio platforms. We are talking about the difference between raising boys and girls today, and we're going to break down whether it's going to look different or if it's going to be the exact same.
And what our personal opinions are.
What our personal opinions are as well, and then we'll just go with that, with that conversation. And I think we've alluded to how we've been raised, amongst all of us for the most part. But just as a summary, Bole, she has two sisters, no brothers.
All girls.
All girls, That's why her life is very calm. Me, I have two brothers and two sisters. Technically, like a cousin, but like she's a sister to me because she grew up with me. So 2 sisters and 2 brothers. And Peter has 3 sisters and 2 brothers.
And a younger brother, one.
And a younger brother. Oh, actually, I back that.
Yeah.
Peter has 3 sisters and 1 brother.
Yeah.
So I think our difference, our experiences are so different.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But we'll break it down today. See how that has shaped our opinions today. So I'll start with Bole. Just off the dome, you don't have to go too deep. Would there be a difference between how you raise your boys and your girls?
Yes, there definitely will be.
Okay.
Damn.
Okay. Peter, what about you?
For me, yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow, toxic. So you're treating people differently?
No, I'm not treating people
differently.
I'm treating them the same, but I also being pragmatic.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say?
Fair enough.
I'll give them equal opportunities
Yeah.
and everything, but we'll get there.
We'll get there. And for me, honestly, same as well. Like I'm definitely raising them differently. And I think overall, I'm not going to raise all my kids the same, regardless of whether they're boys or girls or whatever that might be, right? So I have to tailor the parenting to the child. But obviously, we're going to speak in broad terms right now, because there are things that are going to affect boys more and things that are going to affect girls more.
Yeah.
So Bole, back to you.
Let me just ask this first question.
All
right. So, Bole, which one would you want first, a boy or a girl? As a first
I want to...
that's a good question. That's a good question.
Well, I mean, if we think about how I want my life to unfold, I would want twins first. Like my first 2 children would be twins.
Wow.
But the first one would have to be a boy. Like only by a couple seconds, and then the girl will come after.
Why?
I just feel like growing up, I always wanted a brother.
Yeah.
I always like read books, watched movies about, the sister having the older brother to like look up to, help him out, bullying, all that kind of shit. And I would want my girl to have the same thing, somebody, a provider, even though they're basically born at the same time. But yeah.
Yeah. I see you. I see you. Okay. I mean, for me, I think I want a boy first. Too.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, I think I want a boy first.
Guys are
I
really.
don't know, I don't know if it's because in my house there was a boy that was 1st, but I don't know, I just feel like I want someone like the firstborn is the one that goes through life first, right? Then the other siblings kind of like come afterwards. I want that person going through life first to be a boy, because I'll be less nervous in a sense, just for my own sanity and well-being, if that makes sense. It's just kind of like, okay, the guy has gone through it. Now he's old. He can protect his sister. He can younger sister, his younger brothers, all of that, right? He can I can send him out into the wild, he can experiment with this boy. I don't want to experiment with my daughter, man. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense, that might be a bit sexist, but
No, it makes sense.
Wow.
yeah, just the way I am.
That's crazy. Well, I'm going the opposite direction.
You want the girl first?
I'm all on a girl
so
first.
you can cook and
that's
clean
so
and do all
wholesome.
that stuff.
Well, you see, you are controversial. You need to be cancelled.
You know what's funny though? Like African parents like girls first.
I want girls first.
African parents like girls
Do you
first.
know why?
Why?
Because of my great grandfather had a girl first. My grandfather had a girl first. My father.
So you want to
had a girl
continue the
first.
pattern.
Okay, so
So
you
we're
want
gonna have a girl first.
Yeah.
Simple and short.
Just
Okay,
because you said that, you're gonna have a boy first. That's just how. It's
Oh, whichever one I'm happy with. But if I had to choose, I would like a girl first. I just think having a girl first really teaches you the. You're much more. I don't know.
I feel like you're a different type of father. Like if you look at
Yeah.
fathers who
Yeah.
have had guys first versus girls, like there's a
Yeah.
difference.
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like a guy for you to get a girlfriend, you're a lot more mellow. That is needed in the family.
It mellows you down.
It
quick.
mellows you down because if
Yeah.
you had a boy,
Yeah.
I just imagine if my father had me first. Oh my gosh, the way I would have suffered. Thank God for my older sister. You know what I mean?
You can't be
If it
guy
was
down
me
first.
first, hey,
There's something that is somehow that be multiplied by 10.
I'll be in Iraq or something fighting for Nigeria. I'm telling you right now. There's no way in hell out of here. You understand what I'm trying to say?
No, honestly, I feel you though. I feel you because you know when like we watch all these movies or see all these shows about like the guy that was a thug, did everything, and then he had a daughter.
Yeah.
And then that kind of
changed
changed
him.
his whole life. Like obviously it's still the same with boys as well. Like you have a son and you want to be a good example. But I feel like there's this tenderness that comes from having a daughter. Right, obviously I don't have a kid, so I don't know. But
So you're not going to get that
just
tenderness
kinda
from your son?
it's tenderness, but your son is the guy you want to wrestle with. The guy you want to play basketball with. The guy you want to like play.
You can do
video
that all
games
with your girls.
You can do it with your
that
girl
with
as
your
well.
girl.
But there's a level that you'll get to. Like that. I think that's what we can get to. Right. I feel like as children, boys and girls are very similar.
Yeah.
Right. Like before they hit puberty. Right.
I'll say that during puberty is a huge thing.
Puberty
like
is
biologically
huge, man.
speaking,
because
we're different.
it affects boys and girls differently.
Yeah, for sure,
Yeah.
for sure.
That's what I'm like. So like as children, obviously there's still temperaments and all that, but like boys and girls, they are quite similar. Even though guys are still more like chaotic and like want
Less
to be more
willing to
aggressive. Like less exactly stubborn. All these things, but girls are a bit more. They'll listen to you. They're a bit softer.
More talkish.
They like to have conversations as well, but obviously this is like in general terms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People have their individual personalities as well. But generally speaking, guys are still like I remember when I came into the picture, man. That house, crayon all over the wall.
Oh my, yo,
I painted that house.
I used to. This is a very toxic story. This is just to show you how toxic I am. I used to pee in paper bag.
Oh my god!
I'll put it under the chair.
That's nasty, man.
Me and my brother.
That's the chair. Why?
I don't know. We were scared to go into the bathroom in the dark. I turned on the light. So we were just like, nah, man, we're not doing this. And I flogged the shit out
definitely
of us.
not.
Oh my god!
Flogged the shit out of us. Like, what are you guys?
Good.
Like, he was just like, what are you guys thinking? You know what I mean? And honestly, what were you thinking? And I don't have memories of that. But it was my mom that told me. I was like, why would I do that? You know what I mean? I was like, why would I do that? But we did all this kind of stupid shit when we were young. Our boys just do stupid shit.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like I know the issue that I had with like growing up, me and Chima, my older brother. Like it's pretty much obviously playing too much, playing in the house. Like playing football inside the house. My parents would be shouting, "Stop playing ball in the house." We want to play ball in the house. We'll be breaking shit, doing all sorts of things. Even though what my parents told me was that like most of it was me. Right, like Chima was actually very calm. My other brother was calm. He was calm until he met me. So until he got a brother, and then when he met me, I now infected him with like just chaos and just. But my sister, her issue was things like taking too much candy.
Okay.
Like stealing. I would say steal, like, yeah, steal it. You know when you're very sneaky, I take shit, but you'll be looking innocent and things like that. Those are the kind of things that my sister would do. She was confessing most of her sins like a few weeks ago. I was just like, are you kidding me? But that's just like kind of like the difference between like even boys and girls. I think even having different siblings. Yeah, right, Peter. Yeah. How's that interaction been? Because Bole doesn't really have, like you only have sisters, right, Bole? Mm-hmm.
So honestly, like my older sister was always doing her own thing. Yeah. While me and Chika were always the ones that were like, doing stuff together. Yeah. Like we played ball. We dressed the same. I'm gonna pick up the same clothes for us. Yeah. So we're kind of twinsing. You feel me? Yeah. Same. We shared boxers.
Same, bro. We even passed it down to my younger brother.
So like all this kind of like stuff with boys, like we did everything basically together. Yeah. Obviously, I wanted to prove I'm the alpha male, so I was much more adventurous. You know what I mean? What took charge in certain things, right? But also led us sometimes into the wrong path, and both of us got in trouble. Or like if he's the one that really caused it, I'll about it. I say, "Your daddy was Chika." Wasn't me. He was like, "Wow!" Because the crime is so obvious. Yeah. That someone has to take the beating.
So I was like, "Who's gonna take it?
Who's gonna take it?" If it was him, you say it was me. You know what I mean? It's like whoever did it, that means your responsibility. Just go take your job.
Take your beating.
But my sister was always doing her own thing. Yeah. Like honestly, it was my sister. Like I even know my sister was into anime until like I was like, "Oh, Asha, what's this on your laptop?" She was like, "Oh, this is anime I got from my friends in secondary school." Yeah. So Asha, you watch anime? She's like, "Oh yeah, I dabble here and there." Yeah. And she was one that like started reading Archie comics, Archie comics and stuff like that. Yeah. And like she was very like her stuff was very distant. Yeah. Like what she liked, I was like, what the hell is this girl doing? Yeah. She used to do I don't know, say there was supposed to call sweet16.com, and it was like this Barbie-ish game.
But I feel like I remember that.
It was like a Barbie game, like where you put them in like they have like you go to like shopping, decorate your house, like very girlish shit. Yeah. And I was like, oh, okay, let me create my own. So I had my own account. Yeah, it was like the guys and the girls. Because I wanted to do something with my sister. I was like, let me just join her, because it was a game at the end of the day. Right? Yeah. And like you have to log in every day so you can get your points and stuff like that and go shopping.
Nah, I feel
so I used to do that with my sister. But in terms of like gaming and like sports, we're very like separate.
I actually even going off of that, like, cause we, like, obviously I played like even growing up, right? Like when we started like caring about like our private parts and stuff like that, the first person that we started kicking out was my sister. It was kind of like, no, don't see us naked, because all of us used to shower together, right? So we shower together. Then after I think we were like 6 or something, then we started saying we don't want our sister to shower with us anymore, because we're like, she's a girl, all that stuff. And then like, but it was just very childish, like she was still the funny thing is that we would shower together, but we dress up together. Yeah. So it's like
the same thing.
So as long as we're in the bathroom, we don't want her there, but if we're in the room, it's fine. She can see us naked. Do what she's doing. And then like, so that kind of difference started growing, like we started like getting into football, sports, all that stuff. My sister was actually very athletic. She grew up a tomboy, because she had 3 brothers, so she was very like athletic and all that. But then eventually her girlish side started coming out small, like, when they talk about like, they say boys should do Superman, girls should do Barbie, all that stuff. Yeah. In Nigeria, I don't know if we do.
We kind of do it.
We maybe do it. But I know that like naturally I was just drawn to what I was drawn to, and my sister was drawn to what she was drawn to. She got this Hannah Montana game, she got this Barbie game, all that stuff. But the funny thing is I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you played it.
Like I played it.
Yeah. Same here.
So my parents never like were like, oh, you're not allowed to play Barbie. You're not allowed to do that. Like we literally just intermixed, but eventually we just kind of like got drawn to the things that we liked more. But then when we had to like hang out with my sister, like play with, or let's say there's no lights, and I can't play FIFA, I'm going to play Hannah Montana.
Yeah,
Nintendo DS.
For sure. For sure. There was this game called Dogs or Cats on this game, and like you have to like rub the dog using the stylus.
The stylus.
I was just like, this is like there's nothing else to be. Let's do it. You have to wash the dog, blow dry it. Yeah. You know what I mean? I like make it shiny.
Even this game called Cooking Mama.
Yeah.
On the DS, when I was so I play all those games. Barbie, story mode, I went go with the Barbie, save the Barbie, save the prince, all that. I did all that stuff, but obviously I know that the thing I was drawn to more was more like the FIFA, you know, the fighting games, all that stuff.
Yeah.
So just going into the first point about like differences between raising boys and girls, right? I think personally, I'm going to tailor a lot of what I'm going to do kind of with what my parents did, right? And what my parents did that I think worked for me personally and worked for us because it didn't feel like a toxic, like, oh, I'm not allowed to play Barbie,
do this,
you know, and I'm not allowed to.
You're not allowed to dress up like a Barbie doll or anything like that.
Exactly. It's kind of like, it's just more like, oh, like, play what you're going to play, but you still know who you are. You're a boy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here trying to pretend, like, is that going to sound controversial?
Just say it.
I was going to say, like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm a girl. You know what I'm saying? But just more like, I don't feel the need to be like, oh, I'm a boy, so I cannot play with Barbie.
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm also a boy, so I like being aggressive. You know, I don't need to tape up my aggression, which is why it was good that my dad was there, but he could handle what. Actually, my mom too was very like active with sports and all that, so like she could handle all that. And I think growing up on a childhood level, let's say from like 0 to like pre-puberty, I'm going to treat them pretty much the same.
The same.
Yeah, that's what I think, and that's kind of what I thought about. Just kind of like treat them the same, you know, like get them involved in different things, just because you're trying to see what they're interested in. You know, you're trying to see the things that they are drawn to. So if my girl now likes to play football, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, girls, so don't play football. You know, if my boy likes to, I don't know, cook, I'm not going to be like, oh yeah, boy, so don't cook. You know what I'm saying? Just more like learn all these things. These are life skills. These are things that you might like, and then after puberty, though, it might change.
It's going to change.
Yeah,
I mean,
actually, it's going to change.
So backing up.
So what do you guys think?
From there, like, Bole, what would you do in that kind of situation when that puberty? Because I know, like, for like you had all girls, so you only experienced that girl. But I don't know if you guys were close. Like, how was your experience with your sisters in the first place? Then you can talk about the effects of puberty after.
Yeah. So I'm the firstborn. My sister that follows me came 2 years later. So we grew up very close. You know, we used to wear the same clothing. I used to pass her down things. My mom used to buy things in twos. Like, we were basically like twins too, right?
Well, you got like taking all those like twin pictures.
Yeah.
Like, did you feel good when you twined with your siblings? Did you guys feel good?
Did we do what?
Did you feel good when you twinned with your siblings?
I mean, at first, yeah, but then as we got older, it was like, okay, like, why do you have the same hairstyle as me? Why are you wearing the same shirt?
I always love that shit.
I would lie to you, like,
I always love this.
I rather twin like when I'm twinning with my dad. You know, like when you're wearing like traditional clothes.
Yeah.
And like your dad is wearing the bigger version. I'm like, okay, we're looking fresh in this bitch. You feel me? Yeah, so that was kind of, I mean, did I really care? No, I didn't care actually until like I hit like secondary school.
Yeah.
I was like, nah, this childish, wearing the same shit as me, bro. What the hell? Nah. But let's continue.
Yeah, so we grew up very close. I mean, it was just us two. Like, we weren't going to talk to anyone else. So we were very tight. And then my youngest sister came 9 years after me. But in the midst of that, I remember when she was like, my mom was even pregnant with her. And I didn't really, it didn't click in that like she was pregnant. I just remember she had a big stomach. And I didn't put two and two together. She came out, so okay, new person in the family. We have to help take care of this baby, right? So at this point, it's 3 girls now. Then my mom and then my dad. So my dad
Your
had
dad
been singled out from the jump.
Your dad is just like damn, man.
Three.
I'm a girl dad,
and that's it. Like, he just had to take that because my mom is not having any kids anymore.
Yeah, he was like 3 swings, strike out. I'm done.
So there were the 3 of us, but then as she was growing up, I feel like that made me and then my sister Gina, who's after me, very close, because now we have like another bundle that we have to take care of together. So like we would change diapers together, we would like feed her, bathe her, all that stuff, just like nurture her, right?
Yep.
And then as the youngest was growing up, I had to go to Cameroon. So I was there for 4 years. So during this time, I missed out.
Your siblings didn't go to Cameroon, right?
They came initially, but like they didn't stay with me. They left. They just came to kind of like send me off.
They really abandoned you, man.
They just left Bole there, man.
Yeah, they were like, bye. So during that 4 years, obviously I wasn't in contact with them most of the time. 2 different like time zones, just 2 different spaces in life that we were at. So the 2 of them actually got very close. I think at that point when I left, I was turning 10. So my youngest
6 years, 4.
Yes.
8 years.
8 years.
So she was like 2, right? Am I doing math right? I swear I'm not.
Yeah, she was 2. Well, she was 2. Come on, 10 minus 8. Come on, Jesus Christ.
So she was 2, and then Gina was turning 8, or she was 8 at that point. So 4 years go by, so they start getting close, you know, and then I come back, and then I'm starting high school, and at that point, like, I've already gone through puberty. Gina has already, you know, she's also gone through it. She's kind of still in those like phases, and then my youngest is kind of just like following after us. So when I came back for high school here in the US, I was like very on my own. Like, I feel like I had started developing into a woman, and I was like, oh, I don't want to be doing things with you guys anymore.
Cool friend.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be the
You guys are too young for me.
Yeah, and then also I just had more responsibility in the house. You know, being the eldest.
Yep.
Like, there's no guys, so I kind of had to step up and do everything. So like, if there's a light bulb that needs to be replaced, I got to do that, because my dad's not gonna do that shit. He's gonna be like, go, like, learn how to do it. If I wasn't here today, who would be doing it?
Facts.
So
that's what parents always say. If I'm not here,
exactly.
who's going to be doing it? They
That's
never
a good
say that
point,
to the
though.
girl. I actually they say that to the girls.
They
They say to the girls.
I mean, they said it's about like, it's like, oh man.
And then, so after high school, then shortly after I graduated, so that I was going to college. So I'd already missed out on a lot of years with my two youngest ones, and they became very close. So at this point, my youngest, she was starting to like get older, kind of go through her puberty stages as well. But Gina, who's after me, she started, so she's kind of like a tomboy. I feel like at a young age, she was like a girly girl with me. And then when I left, she kind of found who she was, what she was drawn to. And she's kind of like into the anime, you know, video games.
Hey, shout out to her.
Yeah, like, that's very much her scene. And I came back and I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't want to watch Attack on Titans. Turn this shit off.
Wow, okay.
And because I wasn't there, you know, she pushed that on to my youngest sister as well. So she's also into that now, but at the same time, she also looks up to me, and she's like a split between me and Gina.
Both of you.
She's like, she's kind of into anime, you know, all those like Asian, Japanese shows, things like that. But at the same time, you know, she likes doing makeup, she likes going shopping, doing that. So she got kind of like the best of both worlds.
That you got that sweet balance.
Yeah. But growing up, I definitely think my parents did raise us differently. Like, I had a lot more responsibility. I was, you know, there to look after your sisters. You know, if they need something, give them money. Even now, my dad calls me randomly, like, oh, have you spoken to your sister? Send her $50, like, just because, like, she's your sister. Da 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 da.
That's so funny, because that's the exact same thing my mom was telling me. You know, just
I mean, they don't tell me to send her random $50. Like, let's say it's like a special event and it's like their birthday or something, right? My dad would be like, okay, go get them a gift. I mean, I'm bad at selecting gifts, so I just give them money.
Just send the money. It doesn't even have to be anything special. My dad will literally just be on my ass. Like, have you spoken to your sister? Do you? If maybe she's hungry, maybe she wants to buy this, buy that. Send her money. Like, it's your job now. They can't be relying on the parents anymore.
That is so interesting, because my mom says the same thing. I don't know if I was a girl, should have said it, because the way she said it, just more like men are meant to take care of women. Right, and not on a societal level, right? Not on a like it was more like in the family, right? Like, the men are meant to take care of the women. So like, but I don't know if I was a girl, should have told me the exact same thing. But maybe because of my position, like, obviously I'm the first, and you. Sorry, I'm not the first. I'm the second born.
Don't claim that.
Chima is the first, right?
All right, never.
That's a mistake. What I'm saying, I mean, me and Chima are very close in age, but obviously he's the first, I'm the second. But what I'm saying is, like, there wasn't going to be a time where Chima had to send me so much money, because we're very, very close in age. Does that make sense? But then with my sister, there was a bit of a gap. So my mom was always like, oh yeah, have you spoken to your sister? Send her money. You know, like, do this. She doesn't really do it as much for my younger brother, but she still says send him money. You know, so obviously I think there's still that kind of like difference in gender ideology with my mom, right? But I find it very interesting that your African father said the exact same thing, I think it just boils out to what the cards you're dealt. You know, because if there's no man in the house, I mean,
someone has to be
someone has to do it. And if there's no man in the house, someone has to do it. Yeah. Those roles, exactly. Keep going, sorry.
I mean, that was pretty much it. Like, I was like the man, you know, right after my dad, because there's not, especially being the only guy, there's not a lot of things that he could, I guess, speak to my younger sisters about, just because it's uncomfortable for him. So my mom did that, and when she didn't do that, like, I had to kind of step in, you know,
and do it,
give him life tips, basically. Girlology 101.
How to filter out red flag men.
Honestly, my youngest is boy crazy, so we have conversations.
She's in that stage. She's in that stage.
She's
She's what, 16?
Does she want the podcast? Does she watch the podcast? Has she
Nah,
like seen like?
she's busy. She's in her own world. Like,
No, I was about to say like, if she's watched the podcast, she should have heard your advices and our advices.
I mean, I tell her, but like being the youngest, like she was babied very much. She's still babied growing
Honestly,
up. So like,
youngest are always babied. They're always the most spoiled.
Yeah, I mean, my younger brother, honestly, out of all of us, he might be the most responsible.
Really?
But in a sense, he's I won't say he's babied, but he's just more like privileged, right?
Yeah.
Like he has like multiple people that he can look up
ask for
to.
things.
Yep.
So like if dad is not giving him money, go to mommy. Mommy not giving him, go to Oluchukwu. If Oluchukwu is not giving, go to Chisom. If Chisom, it's like it's just the way it is. So, but in terms of like responsibility and just being a go-getter and just like stepping up, he has so many resources to like ask questions. You
Yeah.
know, because he's like he likes football, but he also likes coding. Right, that's literally a split between me and Chiba. You know, like he likes like all the nerd stuff, but he also likes like music and dancing and all that shit. It's just like, bro, like so, like he just has too many people to pick from. So I won't say he was babied, but he was definitely way more privileged than us. Because me, when I was broke in college, that was it. My dad just said to everybody, that was the end of that was the end of the story.
Oh my gosh, man.
That was the end of the story. But he's very responsible though. Like he's a go-getter and everything. And I think that's something that I'm even learning from him. And I'm 6 years ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know, but
Honestly, I sometimes wish. No, I wish I was the younger child, but like I feel that like being a younger child, you have much more opportunity to, like, much more like closer resources to use.
yeah.
And that could benefit you in the long run, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like if I don't know something, I can always ask. Because the only person I could ask for anything was my older sister.
yeah.
I'm not gonna ask my younger siblings. And my older sister was always like forming big girl
For me,
for me.
babe. For me, babe.
Right? So I was like, I usually try to figure things out myself.
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
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 But it can be good and bad because you know, if I have an issue, I know how to do it by myself.
Yeah.
If that makes sense. But
That's true.
sometimes it would have been better to find like have an older brother, you know, ask about like, oh, like guy, like how do I get a job?
Yeah.
You know, real quick.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like which degree should I focus on? Like should I
Yeah.
have stayed with CS or
Yeah.
like, you know, followed my dream in art, stuff like that. You know what I mean?
I think those are very interesting things because like I said, like I had Chima to look up to, right? So, but pretty much like we lived very similar lives, went to the same school at the same time, everything. Like our journey was very similar. I just pretty much copy him.
Yeah.
Very similar. Just copy him what he does, right? But then like I feel like my sister now became the different factor, and then my younger brother kind of like got from all the experiences that we saw, right? And it was very. I think there's good in both, right? That way you can tap from your guy siblings and your female siblings, right? That way it's kind of like you're talking to the males and it's like, okay, like I'm getting this thing. You're talking to the females and you're getting this particular benefit from them. Like I remember when my sister was telling me about how like awkward my brother is when it comes to like emotional conversations.
Really?
Yeah, very awkward. And I was just like, I mean, that's never something I've really tried to have with him. But like, I think he did something like they were, you know, sibling stuff. Like maybe you're meant to cook or clean.
Yeah.
And he was rude about it. Maybe he wasn't helping her or something.
Yeah.
Like he talked to her in a weird way, and she felt like she was giving him so much.
Yeah.
Right. So she felt bad. That's why I cried. You know. And then he was not like. Like, and this is him like a bit older.
Yeah.
Right? Like, so like gets to the point where like we're all becoming adults. You know,
Yeah.
he's 18 now, 17.
Yeah.
So like, get to that point, it's just like,
Sorry.
I'm sorry about how you feel. What can we do to improve on this in the future? And in the middle of the tears, my sister was like,
I know. You gave me that eye.
just imagine like someone is crying.
Yeah.
Right? She's like, in the middle, she's just like, damn, this nigga is bad. but she said that she felt happy in a sense because she could tell that he was trying. You know,
Yeah.
he was trying to like see, man, I don't know what to do, but damn.
Try to find solution.
So that was very interesting, you know, and I think for me, even growing up with a sister,
Yeah. I
even
think it's because
now-
all you guys are all boys. Like
Yeah.
I grew up with lots of sisters,
Yeah.
so I knew that emotional thing right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like how to pamper them.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually
Yeah.
okay. It's okay. Let me go
Yeah.
get you some Fanta. Let me go get you some drinks. Or how much do you want? Okay.
Yeah.
You want me to cook plantain and stew for you?
Yeah.
I'll cook plantain and stew.
yeah,
Don't worry
yeah,
about
yeah.
it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how you play with their hearts.
Yeah,
You
actually,
feel me?
yeah. But then, the thing is, I knew that. I don't know if I knew intuitively because when my sister was born, my mom said that me and my older brother Olujuko, we literally like we're calling her sweetie darling baby. You know, like if anything happens to her, we're literally like trying to. These are babies. We're like what, like 3, 4. You know, like trying to protect her. Like if she puts saliva on her face. My mom told me the story one time about one time. I think she had something on her face or something, and she was in the car. My mom came and picked me up from school, and then when I got into the car, right, I just saw this rag on the floor that was so dirty, you know, that's in the car. I took it and started cleaning her face.
Oh,
you know,
my God.
just kind of like the care that we had, and it kind of brought out that our tender side. And to this day, like over this Christmas break that I spent with my sister, like I just saw sides of me emotionally that I still need to work on, constantly, right? So just kind of like even growing up with siblings brings out a different side of you a lot of the time. And I think it's a very interesting dynamic.
For sure.
Yeah.
But so when it now comes to things like, you know, like
Puberty. I think we're in the puberty.
We're in the puberty era now. Like
this is where like things like hit the fan. You know what I mean? In terms of the differences.
The difference in boys and girls. How is that for you guys? Like, what did you notice any like significant differences between like your
treated me the same. It's just that like they just say, don't get a girlfriend or get like, you know, start hearing the things about don't get a girl pregnant.
Yeah.
That's when it's I think that's for boys. That's when it starts, and you get more responsibility of like being a man. Like,
you just reminded me of something like when Bole was talking about like her dad not having the talk with her, right? It's because he was uncomfortable. Like, how do you guys do that? Like
my dad never had to
like
talk with me. I wanted to have to talk with me. He just told me, don't get a girl pregnant.
I feel like that's not a thing in like African households. Like, having sitting down and talking about like sex.
Nah,
yeah.
no.
I mean, it was the same. Like, I mean, they talked about sex in terms of like, like this is how babies are formed, right? And then obviously the rule was
honestly,
don't do anything.
My parents never talked to me about that. Like,
me either. I learned that shit in school.
Really? Now, my mom read this book to us. Like there was this book where the babies come from.
Oh wow.
There was this book with like it was actually nice. Like I loved it. Like every time like my mom says, "Oh, come, let me read the book for you." I loved it. All of us would come and sit down and she'll start reading the book. I was just like,
my mom was not on that wavelength at all. And there's no way my dad was going to talk about that stuff. I think the way I learned about it is because of other boys. That's what I have to say. I learned it, and when you learn stuff from boys, it's very toxic. You know what I mean? It's very male oriented. So just imagine what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. Like secondary school boys, you know what I mean? That know nothing. That's why I'm learning how to what sex is, what head is, or stuff like that. Like
say head. My parents definitely did not talk to me about head.
I never talked to like a girl, like my mom or dad about a girl until like my senior year. When I used to joke with them, I have a girlfriend.
No, you're right.
I actually had a girlfriend. I was joking.
But you were serious.
Nah, I was joking with them,
but you were seriously having
it. It was kind of like that. And I wasn't going to tell them that I had a girlfriend because of, you know, I would have gotten cancelled.
Cancelled.
I would have been cancelled in my house, for sure.
But you were talking about the puberty stuff.
Yeah, I think my dad also had like a different, my mom had a different approach with the girls. The girls, she was much more active with the girls. You know what I mean? Like, Amarachi, you have to do this. Ashawa, you have to do this. Like, she guided them a lot closely, while the boys were just like left to grow, if that makes sense. Like on our own.
Would you say your dad was primarily for the boys?
Yeah, that was like my dad. That's when my dad started to like call us, Chibuzo and Chika, we're going to the office. Like my dad would literally take us to the office, like, you know what I mean? Like, like you're going to sit down and like I'm going to show you what I do. We're going to go to the construction site and we're going to pack water and cement. Like that was like my dad.
That was it,
You know what I mean? Like, so it was like all these weird things of like responsibility put on me. Like, Chibizo, you know, you have to learn how to change the generator. You have to learn how to open the gate. Like if the gate man is not around, who's going to open the gate?
Going to do it,
it's you. You're the first. You're the first son.
But you had an older sister, but he didn't talk to her.
No, he didn't talk to her like that.
Okay.
So that's it was like all the first son kind of things to do. Like turning on the gen. You know, cleaning the car. Making sure like everything is in
Washing
order.
The car.
Everything is in order. That was like my responsibility. And I was just like, bro.
It's weird because I think responsibilities were shared in terms like, I mean, my mom pretty much treated all of us the same. So we all cleaned, we all cooked, we all did all that. Even though the older we got, the more she focused a little bit more on my sister. You know, because we were just like zero interest whatsoever. Like she would call, come to the kitchen and watch me cook. But I'm not good.
Yo, how was my cooking today though?
Nah, if it's actually made this nice pasta, like I like to hit it. It needed a bit more salt.
This guy.
But it was actually good.
Well, that's a
actually
small
good.
fix, you know.
That's a small fix. You know, small fix. You know,
doesn't
Peter
involve-
actually went, you guys should start at this past day house, man. You know, at the very you will chop. You eat. Peter, is that fine? Are you gonna cook for your wife?
Yeah. I'll cook for my wife.
You cook for your wife. Yeah, constantly. Not like once in a year. Like
That's my dad. My dad was like, I'm the better chef. Yeah. When he's talking about him and my mom, I'm the better chef. Let me just cook a little bit. And when he cooks, I'm just like, Dad, this stuff, man, I don't like it. Because like the way he cooks his stuff, it's like me. He adds a lot of shit into it. And when I was young, I used to hate like a lot of stuff. I was like, bro, I'm not eating this shit, man. What is this? What's this stew? Why does this have so many things inside? I don't like this. Yeah. But now that I'm cooking, I understand why he was doing that.
Yeah.
Very efficient type of cooking. But it was quite funny though. But it depends. Like, if I have time to cook, I will cook. Like, I don't care like cooking every week. I mean, I want us to share that responsibility. And if I'm like,
what percentage? How would you like it? Ideally, let's say you get exactly what you want.
Honestly, 100% zero.
Damn.
If I was being honest with myself. But realistically, probably like 70-30.
70-30.
Yes, 70-30.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be 50-50, but 70-30 is where I'm like, okay, like
that'll be a sweet spot.
I can do.
You can do that one, yeah.
And that's my limit.
For me, honestly, mine would be like closer to like 80-20.
80-20.
You know what's funny? Because I don't know if you guys remember, I used to post like husband boob like on Snapchat, Instagram. But that's like in recent years, I haven't been posting that. Like, I don't be posting my cooking anymore because I realized that it was low-key sending girls the wrong message about me. Because I was thinking like, if girls now see, because the reason why I started it was just to tell guys that like it's okay to cook too. Like, I'm trying to encourage guys that you should learn how to cook, and it's okay to treat your woman. But my own is treat your woman, but then I don't want a girl that cannot cook to now come to me thinking,
this nigga is gonna cook.
I'm gonna be cooking for her constantly. So I'm just like, I'm not posting this thing again.
Oh my god!
Because one time one of my friends was just like, Chisom, you're so wholesome, you even cook. I'm not like. I was like, when you say I cook, what do you mean?
What do you mean by that?
Because I cook, but like, don't be expecting me, like, I would like it to be like 80-20.
Okay.
That would be like my sweet spot, but obviously, depending on, if she's pregnant, if she's busy,
if she's working,
pregnant, things like that.
Then, if she's pregnant, I want that responsibility.
Yeah.
Like, I want to make my wife comfortable. I don't want her to any stress during pregnancy. I think pregnancy is such an important part of like where you rely on your partner a lot, and men should definitely step up during.
100%.
But how about you? What do you want?
I would like it to be 70-30. I feel like, we have this conversation a lot, but I think a woman belongs in the kitchen. Just being straight up, like, cook for your man. Shit.
That just made me feel very, very warm. Very warm,
But at the same time, like, don't always assume that it's gonna.
That's why you said 70-30 now.
Yeah, that's 70-30, right? Like, honestly, I approve that message. Like, everyone doesn't only belong in the kitchen. I think that's the caveat. Like, because when people hear, a woman should be in the kitchen, it's like, you should only be in the kitchen. I think that's what the first wave feminism was, right? Like, trying to change, like, how people view women, because that was some toxic level. It's like, you can't allow, but cook for your mans, man. We encourage you guys. Like, men will, honestly, if you're trying to get a quality guy and you know how to cook, like 40% of the battle has been won. Just 40%.
Like, if you're as rich as me, just get a chef. Simple and short.
Yeah.
Both of you don't need to cook.
Yeah, I want a chef.
I mean, I'd like to get my wife a chef eventually.
Yeah.
But the first few years of our marriage, we're definitely not getting a chef.
It depends.
We're definitely not getting a chef. Unless, actually, it does depend though. Like, unless we're like so like freaking busy.
Yeah.
Right, and we can afford it and things like that. But ideally, I wouldn't want to do that because I'm like, we can use the money for something else, investment, Tesla, things like that.
Even if it's not just cooking, like just doing little stuff like setting the table, like washing dishes or something like that.
Ironing my clothes.
Yeah, like little stuff. I remember when I was in Cameroon and I lived with my my uncle, so my mom's older brother, and his wife. So we lived there. There were about like, I want to say like 14 of us in the house, including like all the kids, and then like the aunts and uncles that also stayed there, But it was mainly the girls. So the girls did all the cooking, they did all the prepping of the food or whatever. That man used to piss me off. I just felt like he didn't have any for lack of a better word, like common sense. Like there were days he'd be like, "Where are the plates?" Where are the bowls? Have you set
Yeah,
the
I think
table
that-
for
I
me?
think that
Where's
thing
my
is-
food?
That thing's annoying.
Oh
It's
my
so
God.
That is
fucking annoying.
Cause you know what's funny though? Like one time, cause my mom told me this story recently that when I was younger, my dad, I think, what was it? I think I don't know if my mom was pregnant, but I know that obviously my mom did majority of cooking. My dad worked like brought most of the money, all that
Yeah.
stuff, right? And then my dad came home. I was asking my mom to cook, right? And then me, I told her, I was like, "Daddy, you're a big boy. Leave my mommy alone. I gotta cook your own food." And I told him. I told him like, this, and I was like, honestly, that's the thing for me. It's more like I think with men when it gets to a toxic level where you're asking and asking and asking. It's like,
Yeah.
bro, like use your common sense. Like you went to work, she went to work. You know, like you.
One is pregnant.
One is pregnant. You know, it's kind of like that. Now, obviously, my dad wasn't toxic level with it, but
Yeah.
my dad obviously prefers my mom's cooking to his
Yeah.
own cooking. You know,
Yeah.
you know. So it's just kind of like use your common sense. If you since you're tired, bro, buy food.
Yeah.
Or go and cook yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
but I feel it's such an like it's ingrained in African culture
Yeah,
for the woman
yeah,
to just
yeah.
cook.
yeah.
So like even if she's
Yeah.
pregnant, even if she's in labor, you're cooking the next day, fam. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Get this baby
Get
out
this baby
and
out and
don't
then
go
go
back to the
cook.
kitchen. Go to the
Oh
kitchen.
man,
So
but yeah, but honestly, shout out to the women that are chefing it.
Yeah,
up, you know,
I-
shout
I-
out to the men. I think men should learn how to cook though. That's,
Yeah,
that's
for
why I was
sure.
doing the husband moves at first. I was
Yeah.
like, men, don't just be expecting women to only be cook. Like you should learn how to cook because that's a life skill.
My boys
Yeah,
will know
for
how
sure.
to cook.
Yeah, same. My
One-
boys will actually know how to cook.
100%.
Yeah.
We can actually get into that side of conversation,
Yeah.
right? So like, when it comes to like gender roles and all that, would there be a difference between how you treat your sons and your daughters?
no, I want my daughters to have pristine confidence, not extreme confidence. Pristine.
Pristine.
What's the
Okay.
difference?
Confidence.
Okay, explain.
I mean, you can
Mm-hmm.
have like when you're excessively confident, it's like you're trying to hide something.
Yeah.
When you have pristine confidence,
It's like you know.
it's subtle.
You
You
know.
know you're the shit.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like when I step
don't
on
need
the
to-
football court, I don't need to announce Chipso Aloko is here. They just need to see my shoe that I'm wearing Vans instead of actual boots to know that I'm golden.
Yeah.
Goats.
For my people to know.
You can't move.
You feel me? But that's
Oh, man.
but that's what I'm trying to say. Is like I want my daughters to be confident in them,
Yeah.
in their ability. You understand?
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't want them to be really stupid. Like, oh, you can outrun a man. You
Yeah.
can, fight a man in the street. Like, obviously
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
But like when it comes to academic wise, you know what I mean? Reading the book, hitting the book.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, you're the smartest human being in the world, not the smartest man or girl. You are the
Yeah.
smartest human being.
Yeah.
Beat that. You have to get number one in your class.
Mm-hmm.
No, not number one in girls. You know what I'm trying to say? Like,
Yep.
she has to have that pristine confidence in her ability.
Yeah.
Because physicality is, I mean, realistically, how many people use their physical traits, in
In this day and
competitively?
age. Yeah.
It's very few. Like it's all here now.
Yeah.
You feel me? And I believe my daughter should have the confidence in
Yeah.
that.
So
Because
with
she's
things
part of
like-
their Lego family after all.
With things like taking out the trash, like washing car, opening the gates, changing the light bulb, on the generator, cooking, cleaning, doing laundry. Like, would there be a difference between how you raise your boys and your girls?
There will be a hierarchy. I would say so.
Yeah.
I think my daughters can do it, but if my brother, my son is there,
Then
He'll do
you-
it.
he's been on doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
that's,
if I-
that's also how I think it should be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Okay.
if he's if someone has to go carry the chicken, sorry, not the kitchen. Why is the carry kitchen? Where's the carry kitchen go? If he has to carry the chicken, he has to carry heavy luggage.
Yeah.
I'm like, guy, go carry that heavy luggage. Are you
Yeah.
not a boy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yep.
mean?
Yeah.
Obviously, my daughters want to do it. Like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
actually if you want to go do it, or
Like, I'm not going to stop you.
I'm not going to stop you. Go do
Yeah.
it. But obviously, you boys should take the initiative. That is
To do
one
it,
reason
yeah.
of being a man. Take the initiative to do something.
Yep.
And if my daughters want to take the initiative, good on them.
She
Good
got
for
it.
them.
You know what I mean? But like,
Yeah.
in terms, I feel that in general, I would just feel that I would put like they'll have the same responsibilities,
Yep.
but the boy will just have much more things. to
Much
do.
more in depending on what you're talking about.
Yeah, just much
Yeah.
more responsibilities.
Okay.
Because he needs to learn how to be a man. At the
Yep.
end of the day, no woman wants a weak man.
A weak man.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You have to be a provider. You have to be, a protector at the end of the day.
And emotionally intelligent.
Emotionally
too.
intelligent.
Yeah.
And be a not that women can't be a leader, but
Yeah.
you yourself have to be a leader in some capacity.
Yeah.
So it's
I think women lead all the time.
yeah, they do.
Like even like I was saying, like I was having a conversation with my sister this holiday, and I realized how much stuff I need to work on myself emotionally, right?
You're a bitch.
In a way, you look, you're a goat.
Yeah.
In the way when you look at it, it's kind of like she's leading in that sense because she might be better at it than me. You know what I'm saying? Like in a way, you know. And then like me, I'm more like the goal driven, goal oriented, like trying to push her to elevate her work ethic, all that kind of thing.
Ambition.
Yeah, ambition, trying to push her to be more ambitious, right? I'm not gonna be like, oh, because you're a girl, you shouldn't be ambitious.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you know, it'll be the same me that will say cook for your husband.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? But to me, I'm very much repeater, right? Like it's just kind of like I think growing up as children, they'll pretty much do the exact same shit. Yeah. Because to me, they are like the exact same, right? Yeah. When they start hitting puberty and start understanding like, oh, you have a dick, you have a vagina, you know, like
you know which one is actually in demand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What you said?
Which one is in demand? And the world, like I think this is a key point that we should enter. Like the world is extremely unfair. I think much men have that reality in their head a lot quicker than women. They're like, the world is cruel as fuck. You know what I mean? And you see it in competition between boys. You're like, boys will literally trash on you if you're the slowest.
Well, so
if you're fat,
from a
if
young
you're the
age.
slowest, if you're not the best in soccer, if you're the dumbest, like that's a dumb nigga, but you're stupid. Yeah, boys will be extremely cruel.
We're so competitive.
Exactly. We live in a harsher world, and like obviously when it comes
and
to
just the way we are too by our nature. Because like no one told the children to be competitive. They just are.
It's just
the toxic.
Just
fighting.
It's just a toxic trait in men. Right?
Toxic.
To an extent, it could be toxic.
It can be.
It could become toxic.
Like bullying is very toxic.
Like, I mean, women bully in different ways.
Yeah, women bully in different ways, but I feel that men is much more physical. And
men is physical. Women is more like character-wise.
Like reputation destruction. So I just feel that like it's really important to let your girls know that like protect yourself, right? The men to like also protect yourself. I use your head basically. Understand what you are in this world. But don't limit yourself to that. You know what I mean?
Facts,
if you want to go out, go out. All right. But understand that you want get extra protection. Get a taser. Get this stuff. Feel free to do what you want to do, but understand your position. If it was my son too, I would tell him to, you know, if he wants. Do I need to advise my son to get a taser? You know, that's something I'll tell my daughters.
Not like that, my daughter. Honestly.
You know, I won't lie to you. I'll tell my daughter. I might not tell my son that.
I won't tell my son.
But I'll tell my son, obviously, if he sees the gang violence. If you see gang violence, why would you go to that direction or to the other direction? You know, that's what I'll tell my. But I know that women, threat can come out of anywhere.
They're looking for you.
Yeah, they're looking for you. Threat can come out of anywhere. So I'm like, get that protection. You know, if any nigga tests you, you know, be an Olympic sprinter at that point. That's why I tell her to go to the gym. You need to do like 300-pound squats. Get that thighs up because you need to be able to sprint faster than that average man. Like honestly, the shit is crazy. And obviously, you know, at night it's extremely dangerous for women.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so unfair. But that's the reality we live in. Obviously, we want to protect our girls and stuff like that and let them be free. But I'm telling like be careful out there. You know, I love you. I don't want to see you in the hospital and something bad happen to you. You know, so like it's very difficult to have that conversations with your girls because that's the reality they face. It can be very limiting to them. While boys is just like you know, I was walking at 2 a.m. to your apartment. You know what I mean? Even though I was scared, but I think for a girl it's a lot more dangerous.
That's
100%.
It wouldn't even be a thought.
So it's
but what about you though? Like, would there be a difference in like how you organize your kids? Like in terms of like gender roles, the kind of discussions you have, the talk,
like that post-puberty era of like actually getting into the world.
I don't think there would be a major difference. I think what I would just reiterate is the sense that like as the guys, like your job is to like be that protector, like provide, take that responsibility as kind of being like the man. You know, your younger sisters. You know, if it happens that way, you have to look out for them. But
what if they're older than him?
The sisters, it's still I feel like it's still the same thing. I feel like I still see that in like other people's relations. Like the guy is always kind of like the one that like puffs his chest like this is my sister.
The funny thing is that like I see that in my younger brother, my younger sister. Even though my younger sister is older than my younger brother now. You know, like he's still trying to be like one time he told me a story about like one time they were in the market and then this you know how Nigerian markets are very crazy, very rowdy. Like they'll be saying fine girl everywhere, even fine boy. But girls they might
grab their hand.
They'll grab you.
It's not like they are ill meaning, but they are trying to get you to buy their markets. You know? Also, some of them are trying to hit on the girl. You know, so my brother was just like,
my friend, can you move your hand?
I was like, guy, what are you doing? You know, like this is my younger brother. And I was just like, look at this small boy. Like this is what he's trying to do now. You know, but it's like, I don't know if it's kind of ingrained in us though.
Yeah.
So
I also
yeah.
think that's the extent of biology. Not gonna lie, like we are much more reactive than when a man perceives threat, like shows threat, than a woman does. You know what I mean? If it was two girls and the girls was like, I get out, the guy would probably like, still be trying to do nonsense. But if it
I
was
don't know if I agree with that.
I feel that a threat from a guy is much more alarming than a threat from a girl.
Than a threat from a
biologically
girl.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's
I
what I'm
see
trying to
you're
say.
saying. Okay, yeah.
So like
I
your
agree with
brother
that.
shouting is different from like, if your sister had another sister saying the same thing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
The man might still back
Oh, yeah,
up,
yeah. Okay, I
but
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Yeah.
The threat.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
it's
for sure,
much more
right?
alarming
It's
for men.
kind of like guys are like, yo, let me step in, because a woman doing the same thing, the guy might be like, I can handle this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like I'm good, I'm straight.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, and then
So-
also in the sense that like as a guy, you can get a girl pregnant, but as a girl, you can be the one to become
Yeah, the
pregnant.
one carrying the pregnancy.
So just
Yep.
looking out for things like that, but at the same
Yeah.
time, there are certain things where I'll want them to like each have a specific amount of knowledge on. So like growing up, I felt like I took on the role as like a guy and a girl. So like for example, like when it snowed outside, I'd be out there
You had to
shoveling
go
the snow.
shovel. Yep.
When
Damn,
the
okay.
leaves fell, we'd be picking up the leaves, doing things like cleaning the bathrooms,
Yeah.
doing the chores, washing the
I
cars,
hate
things like
cleaning
that.
the bathrooms, man.
Because I had no choice. My dad is not
Yeah.
going to be the only one to do that. Like he's getting old, so I
Yeah.
had to kind of put myself into
Pick
that
up the
role.
slack. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Picking up the slack, kind of like playing both sides. And growing
Yep.
up, I mean, not growing up, with my kids, regardless if you're a guy or a girl, I would want both of them to be able to do that. So
Yeah, for
both
sure.
of you working together. I want my boys to cook. Like what I know that you
Yeah.
were saying, like your mom would like call you and you'd be like, no, my boy has to be there. Like he has to come in the kitchen and
Yeah.
watch me cook. Like I very
Yeah.
much want that.
Life essentials. I
Yeah.
think one of my mom did was like, she always told us that you're going to be a bachelor one day. You're going to regret it if you don't learn how to cook.
My mom said the exact same thing.
So
Yeah.
that's why I think that I mean, you guys know me. Like I'll complain, but I'll end up going.
You're
at
not
the end
going
of the
and
day.
doing, yeah.
So that's how it was with my mom.
Yeah.
And I really appreciate it.
I know with my mom, like even though obviously the way I'm saying it, it's kind of like nah, like I'm not going. Obviously, there's sometimes she actually forced me to go.
Yeah,
you know?
same here.
like,
same here.
like I just had no
chainsaw.
choice. Like whether I say no or not, I'm
Yeah.
going to be in the kitchen.
Yeah.
So there's sometimes I saw. And then sometimes I also wanted to help.
Yeah.
And like maybe I see that she's kind of tired. You know, like, I see
Or
that
like,
she's frustrated,
or like,
things
like
that.
if you're making breakfast, and like you know that like the breakfast like all your siblings makes is trash, and you want to be the one to make it because you're
Bro,
the
that's
best
all
at
you,
making
fam.
it.
Yeah.
That's all you, fam. The one that my
So-
siblings did was fire. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like, I wasn't very picky
compared
with
to
what I
mine,
ate.
compared to
Yeah.
mine, it was trash. And you know, 'cause
Yeah.
I'm very like picky with what I eat, so I was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, I
let me
wasn't picky
make
at all.
it because I'm going to make it the best, and
That's
everyone is
it.
going to enjoy it. 'Cause I'm the best. That's what I used to think when I used to make my food, man.
Oh man, but yeah, like so for the most part, like my mom forced us to do. So there's some things I did, like I picked up some cooking skills here and there. That's why when I came to America by myself, I could still cook in
Yeah.
a way, even though like let me say I
This
could
guy
cook.
burnt rice. Just say,
Let me not sound like I was like some proper chef,
Yeah.
but like I knew my way around certain things. You know,
Yeah.
I did my learning curve wasn't
you know how
too
to,
high.
you know how to boil water.
Yeah,
like
I'm crying.
I knew how to make gari. I knew how
Yeah,
to make noodles.
yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
I knew how to make fried egg.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I knew how to like follow a recipe. So like if someone is directing me on what to do, I'm not very confused. I'm just like, okay, I need to do that. I'll do it. If they say get time, I know time.
Yeah.
You know, if they say cut the onions, I've cut onions before, so I'm not like, oh shit, this is the first time in my life I'm cutting onions.
Nah,
I
the
was
way
like,
you cut onions, there's like,
you know what I'm saying?
uh,
So those things were very important, and I'm definitely the same. Like, I want both my kids to be able to do everything,
Yes.
right? So
Exactly.
like both should I say quote unquote feminine and masculine gender roles.
I'll put them in a group term called
Yeah.
life essentials.
Life essentials.
Yeah, there are
exactly.
things that you need to know as just as an individual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rather than being on like either you're male
Whether
or female.
man or woman.
Yeah.
Like,
You- yeah.
you have to know how to make money, man or woman.
Yeah.
You have to know how to clean
Yeah.
and cook, man or woman.
Yeah.
You have to know how to protect yourself.
Manage responsibility.
Manage responsibility. You know, you have to have goals for your life, man or woman. You get what I'm saying? So regardless of what gender they are, they're going to learn those things.
Yeah.
Now, also, when it now comes to like expectations from you, how society views you, what the reality of the world is, I'm now going to explain it to each and every one of them differently.
yeah.
Differently.
Now
yeah.
that doesn't mean you should limit yourself by
Yeah.
that explanation, but know what the reality of the situation is.
Now let me give you a dilemma.
What?
So your daughter is 35. She's extremely successful.
Yep.
Do you think do you think in life she's successful? Like a man, like if he's 35, right?
Yeah.
It's different from one who's 35.
Yep.
Like, how would you have your discussion with your daughter in that situation?
So when you say she's extremely successful, do you mean like she like work
financial wise? Like
okay,
she's financially independent, she's responsible, she can take care of herself in abundance and stuff like that. Both men and women. Like, how would you handle that situation? Because women like exactly have a time clock in terms of where they can, have kids and stuff like that.
Okay, so she's not married though.
She's not married at that point. She's still single.
Oh.
Like I think the expectations are very different from girls and boys. I think we need to break that down.
Yeah, I think that's an important conversation, because that's something I've actually thought about a lot. Because even thinking about my own expectation for myself, and then how I'm having this conversation with my sister. Obviously I'm not my sister's parent. She's 21 now. I'm just like, she's still a baby to me in my head. But in reality, it's like, damn,
can give birth right now.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like she's 21.
That's what I'm thinking of though.
In a few years, she's like proper ready for marriage. You get what I'm saying? Like me too. I'm like obviously at that point, but I think like it goes back to explaining what the reality of the situation is. Right. And thinking deeply not thinking as like what society has poured on you, because we talk about society a lot. I think we should be able to think individually for ourselves, right? Like at the end of the day, do you want to be married? Do you want to have kids? Think about it deeply, not from I'm some feminist point of view, or I'm some like, I just want to be a proper traditional woman point of view. Just might be realistic, right? Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have a family? Do you want to have all these things? If this is what you have, then these are the steps that you should take to give yourself a better chance to achieve all those things. Right? And these are the mindset that you should have. This is what men typically like from women. This is what if I'm talking to my boys, this is what women like from men. Right? And then when you have that conversation, it's now up to you to choose, right? And then like, and
you can find your own path individually as a person as well.
Yeah, and not everyone's path is the same, obviously. But you want to give yourself the best chance to achieve your goals. Like me, from a young age, I wanted to get married young. That was not very popular among boys. That's not all. That's not like it. Like young boys are like, like I want to move mad before I settle down. I was always like, bro, like when I settle down, that's when life really starts. And I still have that mindset, but obviously like situation now has changed.
I was never like that. I wanted to settle down early too as well.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Really?
I'm a virgin after all, so
I'm so
it is what it is.
This guy's always capping. I like how he's wearing his Paris cap today. Virginity. But yeah, so I think that conversation would be, if she's 35 successful and she doesn't want kids, she doesn't want. The thing is that when people say I don't want kids,
you can never understand that.
I don't really understand it in the sense that like, because I know most people want kids.
I say it this way, like,
right? And I'm not saying that she's lying.
Yeah.
But what is it? I'm scared that she's saying that now.
I might regret it later.
And then regret it later.
Yeah.
Right? And when people regret that kind of thing, it's a deep kind of regret that is not easy to fix.
Yeah.
Right? It's not like, damn man, I didn't. I don't know. I didn't.
You only have one life.
Yeah, I didn't win that soccer tournament in SS1 or in grade 9. That's how I regret it. I broke my arm in my senior year of high school, so I couldn't run that 100 meters to represent myself. That's a regret I have in life. Right? But at the end of the day, like, I move on from that.
Yeah.
But if it's like, I want to have a wife, kids, all that stuff, and then I'm waiting till freaking 60.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, and you know that men can still do it, but obviously women is a whole different.
Women is
even for men, do you want to have a kid at 60?
Bro,
like it's so irresponsible.
One of the reasons why I wanted to get married young is so I'll be able to keep up with my kids.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to not. Like, I just wanted to play with my kids with all my bone. I didn't want my back to be
active in their lives.
Yeah, very active, kind of like how my mom was. And like just like interact with them in a way that's like, I'm not too old and I'm like, I can't. I'm too tired to run.
Right,
things like that.
Out.
No, don't worry. That needs making a comeback. Sexy comeback. But that's a very delicate conversation to have, because at the end of the day, like, you're not in the person's head to know what they truly want in life.
For sure.
Yeah.
But it's something that I would encourage her to like really don't think about it on a shallow level as like, you're looking at Instagram, like YouTube, how women are like, nah man, I'm waiting till whenever I'm ready. That it's just more like, nah, like, think about what you want.
Yeah.
And if you give an answer, think about why that is your answer deeply.
Yeah.
So that way, when you've made a choice, you can stick by it and be like, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
I'm not really regretting my decision. And even if you regret in the future, it's alright, because you know that you thought about it deeply.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I handled that conversation.
I mean,
But-
that's a good answer. I
Yeah.
think I'm more of your wavelength right
Yeah.
there too. Like,
Yeah, same.
just have to sit down with her, like, be honest. Like,
Yeah.
if you truly want to take this route, it's your choice. I love you at the end of the day. I won't be like, I'm not like disappointed because of, at the end of the day, that's my true feelings.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I'll
Yeah.
still support you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You're my daughter, you're my son. I
Mhm.
love you. You know, but I do want grandkids at the end of the day.
Same,
So
bro.
one of you guys have to
So
produce
the
that.
guy is still an African man.
One of you guys have to produce
Yeah.
that.
But then what about you though? Would you like with that? How that conversation look like?
I think it's very much the same thing. I mean,
Yeah.
at that point, like your child, like they're gonna do what they
Want to do?
want to do. Like there's nothing
Mhm.
you can project onto them that may or may not change their mind. Like especially at 35, like if a woman's saying at 35, I don't want to have kids, then like I would hope that she's very much, thought about that just because
Yeah.
of, that point in life. A woman can't have
Yeah.
kids very old. So
Yeah.
I think it's also important to have that conversation, not wait till like they are
Oh.
old. Have that,
It's gonna start very young.
yeah, like
And
keep
that's
that
what I
in
think
their
about
minds.
it. Like, it's like I'm even like starting to talk to my sister about it.
Yeah.
You know, because even though I still look at her as a baby, but it's just more like, okay, Onyeka. Because when we talk about some things, I say the way she rolls her eyes, she's like, oh my god, you know.
Can I ask the question?
What?
Would you rather have a fiery 30-year-old that is wealthy right now, or like someone who's closer to her age?
Wait, say that again.
So let's say she's married, she's 21, right? Let's say she marries a 31-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
Are you fine with that?
I mean, that's a lot.
10 years? 10 years is not that bad.
Like it's not terrible.
Yeah.
It's not terrible, right? But to
I
me,
think it's
a
just
little
bad
lot.
because of the age she's at now.
Yeah, it's just 21 that then, like if it's 41, 31, like it wouldn't matter that much.
Yeah.
But even though I won't have to marry 41 years, I think that guy's too old already. You know what I'm saying? Like, gotta find a younger husband so you
Wow.
can keep up. You know, in 9 years, that nigga is going to be 50.
Yeah.
You know, so, but I think,
I mean, it's true.
yeah, like, but I mean, I'll rather she finds someone a bit younger, you know, like, but it's just me, obviously. Like, everyone do what you want to do. Like, that's between, yeah, she's the one that's going to be in the marriage. She's the one that's going to be in the relationship. So she's the one that will probably know what she wants as long as she has thought about it deeply.
Right.
But I've started planting those ideas in her head. Like, okay, Onyeka, you want kids? You want to be, you want kids? You want a family? You want
That's if she
you want
wants it,
marriage?
though.
All these things,
Yeah,
right?
that's if she wants it.
I'm saying it like if she wants it, right?
Yeah.
Like I think she wants it. It's not like we'll have the conversation. She wants it, right? I'm not assuming, but it's just more like, okay, then take these things a bit more seriously, right? Don't try to be all these like mega feminists that are here saying I don't need no man. You know how like
Yeah.
American culture can infiltrate you, and then it's like I don't need no man. I can wait till whenever I'm ready. And then when you're ready, it's 40. It's like, bruh, like I'm not saying be desperate. But start making plans if you know that this is what you
Put
want.
yourself in the best position to
succeed.
accomplish.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, to
So-
succeed, to accomplish that set of
That
goals.
goal.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah. So, but it's always an intricate conversation, and there's no one size fits all answer to
Yeah.
everybody. That's the beautiful thing about human beings. You
Yeah.
know, like
But I hope we gave you guys our best perspective in this
Yeah.
topic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've been, as I we're very traditional on this podcast, as you can see. Like, we want gender roles to stick.
we are traditionally. Should I
Feminist.
say feminists? We're
We're
traditionally feminists.
Yeah.
Yes.
As you
It's
say.
like it's kind of like we're traditional, but we're also feminist. So like so it's more like, you know, when they say a genderless society. I like a genderless society. Like I don't want a society where because you're a woman you can't be the CEO of a company.
Right.
You can't be the
'cause
richest person in the
Exactly.
world.
Yeah, woman you can't be the rich. Like that's rubbish. You know, like a woman should be able to do whatever she wants to do outside,
Facts.
right? But then still understand that you're a woman. Right, so
There's
like when it
certain
comes to like the
limits.
house, there's certain limits. There's certain things that
Also for
just
men as
naturally-
well, there are certain
yeah.
limits as well.
There's certain limits for men as well. You
Yeah.
know that it just is what it is. The reality of life. You know, so it's just like everyone should be able to do whatever they want to do, but with sense. You know, with common sense. So think about it, and then we move from there.
Shout out to my future wifey. That's my Afro journal entry right now.
At least you'll get some nice pasta. That's for sure. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I think we left that with something. It wasn't too vague. I feel like this conversation. Some people can make it very vague. It was like we got specific, and there are
Put
parts
ourselves in
that
different scenarios.
yeah, and there are parts that people might get triggered at.
Yeah,
You know,
sure.
like when people are like if they hear that clip, oh, a woman should be in the kitchen.
Bipolar.
Oh my God.
Bible.
I mean, I said
a
it.
pick-
Yeah, I
Yeah,
said
I'm
it.
saying she's a pick me. She's lost, you know, all that rubbish. But it's like, yo,
I
at
can't
the end of the day,
wait
like
for
we're
this
very
episode.
holistic. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're very holistic in our thinking, you know, because we kind of at least we think we are. You know, at the end of the day, there might be some toxic.
We're
shit
open
that
to
we
we're open
do
to
that-
correction.
We're open to correction.
We might be
too.
behind a certain
Yeah.
thing, so Well,
True, facts.
in general,
Facts.
this is a progressive podcast. We like to learn and take
That part.
notes.
Learn and
All
take
right.
notes. So guys, let us know in the comments what you agree with, what you disagree with. If there's anything that you want to point out as well, like, let us know in the comments. Let's get this
Follow us
conversation
on our
going.
socials as well.
Like, share, subscribe. Tell your
Yeah.
future wives and your husbands to like, share, subscribe. Share the episode. Look out at these beautiful black people out here doing our thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Do your entries, my friend.
Oh, what? I was about to actually close out the episode
do your
completely.
entry,
We have the journal entry.
See ya life.
All right.
Real quick.
All right. Okay. So journal entry. I would say I want my son and my daughter to know that they can
This
be
is your father,
whatever.
by the way. Just say it. But continue. Finish.
Is this your father?
Finish.
I want them to know that they can be whatever they want to be, and they shouldn't allow anything to limit them.
Uh-huh.
But
Awesome.
they should also be very pragmatic with their approach with life.
Mm.
I think they'll win.
I'll say my daughters and sons should be dreamers. You know what I mean? They should, whatever the dream of accomplishing, doesn't know that your father is behind you and will support you.
I like that. So my journal entry. I was gonna make it wholesome like you guys, but honestly, no.
Yeah.
Dear journal, the amount of kids that I want has changed so much in my life, but
How many do you want now? Because I know it was 6 before.
I think I want 5.
You want 5 now?
I think I want 5.
So all of us are the same right
5,
now.
yeah, I'm on 5.
Okay,
5.
we'll
My
do a 5.
twins, boy, girl, and then maybe
Yeah.
a girl, and then boy,
Yeah.
boy. Yeah.
Okay.
But
So you want 2 girls, 3 boys?
yeah.
Honestly, same.
I want 3 girls, 2 boys.
I want 2 girls, 3 boys.
Yeah.
Actually, I could go either 3
Yeah.
girls.
The reason why I want 3 boys is I just want my guy army. You get what I'm saying? Like
Just
my-
the 3 boys and
3
you.
boys, like
Oh,
and then I have my baby girls as well.
Yeah. But to my children, your mom was a bad bitch.
Oh, okay.
Until she retired.
Okay.
Just for, then only for
Okay.
my husband, only for your dad.
Energy.
We love that. We
We
love
love it, guys. All right, guys. Come through next week for more late content. It's your good vibes, your husband, your direction giver, your high value man, your visioner. Your goal oriented driven man.
I just want to stop you there. Can you repeat that one? Visioner.
Is that's the word?
Visioner? I think it is.
Is it
Visionist?
visionary? Visionist?
Visionist.
Guys, let me know in the comments.
It's not
Let me know in the
vision,
comments.
Jesus
English, man.
Christ.
English. But you get the idea. You get the picture I'm trying to
Yeah,
paint.
yeah,
You
yeah,
understand?
yeah.
Chisel, Ejikeme, Jeremiah, Okafor.
Alright, I'm singing this to my wife. If Mr. Lover, Mr. Giving you all you desire, eh. It's an extra luggage. With that extra luggage, we have cash, chips to Balabara, $1 million mansion,
Energy.
Investment banks,
Yes, Tesla.
hotels, Tesla, etc., etc. That's what the extra
Yep.
luggage contains.
Yep.
Chef Purero, because I cook for you, baby.
Hey.
Period.
Peter and chicken and chips are Lego Junior. The third is coming.
Hey, in
I said the
Jesus'
third
name.
is coming.
Amen.
That was nice. I liked it.
And it's your glazed donut, your hot mom.
Ooh.
The ones that all your friends will be looking up to.
All right. Are we out, guys?
Peace.
Peace.
Peace.